Just checking if we are all connected, but with Facebook, things might be a little bit slow sometimes. Yes, we are. So great stuff. Welcome everyone to our Truth Talk series. And this is our second episode. Can your business afford a sick day? Welcome to everyone who's joining to watch us now, or maybe watching later on YouTube. Quick introduction. My name is Rumiana, and I have the great privilege to be the host and organizer of this series. I'm a business coach and a strategist working with women in health and well-being, creatives or educators, transforming their expertise into high-value, profitable offers that they can package, pitch, and sell with confidence. And I have the great pleasure today to have an amazing guest. Eva Barone is a lady I met recently in networking, and we've built a great connection purely because we share very similar values in business. And I was really inspired and excited to see how she does business and what she stands for. And I'm just going to invite her to introduce herself and tell us a bit more about what she does. Eva, welcome to the series.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Miana, for having me here. And I'm really glad that we met and connected, and we are on the same page. So that really helps me as well. So yeah, what I do, I work in the insurance industry, and I'm helping individuals and business owners to get away from overwhelming information and information that they can find online in general. So my aim is to get that information across to them in the simple language that they understand, in everyday language. Where they don't need to spend hours reading the documents, and in the end they are getting something just because they are too bored and fed up with that. So yeah, my main aim is just to work with people and support them, no matter where they are or what their background is. So I'm always trying to find the best solution for them, and definitely find a solution that's right for them.
Amazing. And I know, just saying that, I know of your success stories that you've shared, and I know what's happening in the space right now, in the business space, because I do so much of networking and work with women all the time that give me feedback. There's a lot of pressure in when it comes to sales, any shape and form of sales, and it's really kind of manipulating people's fears and how the fear of missing out, the fear of if you don't get this right now you'll miss out, or just pressure for selling for any type of service. And we've spoken before about that, how fear gets manipulated, and it's not something that I believe in. And I know that you try to understand people, you try to elevate their fears and get to really connect with them and serve them, not just to sell anything, but to serve them. So understanding their fear, elevating that fear rather than feeding that fear. And that's something that really resonated with me. And the way you do business, how you go the extra mile, how you provide that personalized service, but you only do that because you understand your clients, you take the time to do that. And with AI now, and with all the information overload, everything that keeps pouring on online or everywhere, it's so difficult to know what to choose, what's right, what's wrong, and especially if it's got that different spin and angle of feeding the fear and sailing through fear. It becomes really almost impossible to make a decision. And often people make wrong decisions simply because there was a lot of information but they didn't quite understand. And I've personally bought services in the past and I've lost money because I thought, oh, that was just packaged well and bright, shiny object was pushed on me and sold. And I made a quick decision and bought something that later realized it didn't do anything that they said it would do. So thank you so much for agreeing to be here. Thank you so much for being a breath fresh air in the industry of finance and insurance and protection. Is some kind of that terminology has always kind of kept me a bit, oh, I don't understand it. I'm scared of that. But when I met you, understand that asking for help and getting someone to explain things to you is the best way forward rather than just avoiding the topic or hiding and just, postponing or procrastinating on something. But I just kind of got put off of how other people sell, how other people in the industry that you are sell and do business. And I'm so glad I met you. So thank you for agreeing to be here today. I have some questions for you. Are you ready?
Can't wait.
Well, I have to share that. Actually, we had a little bit of a talk before this session, and I shared with Eva. I said, Eva, listen, there's information everywhere, and we don't want to overwhelm people. But what is it that really people ask? What are their fears? We want to help them. We want to understand their fears and want to help them. So I kind of gave that task to Eva. We prepared a little bit before this session when we explored the 5 misconceptions, the 5 fears drive people away because they don't understand much. And I said, instead of hiding, let's understand, let's put more light, shine light on those uh, how people feel in those fears. And hopefully today we'll be able to shine a bit more insight and understanding. So Eva shared with me fear number one, what people tell her when they hear the word insurance and protection. They say it's overwhelming. I don't understand it. So they feel confused, they feel overloaded, unsure where to start. And I know that I felt that way myself. So that's a real fear. So my question to Eva today is, what's the simplest way to understand what kind of cover I actually need as a business owner? And we're talking here, we're addressing about small business owners, we're addressing solopreneurs or small businesses, maybe around about 5 employees, just focusing on the kind of the smaller size of businesses for today's answers purposes for today's interview. But just want to understand what's the simplest way to understand what kind of cover I actually need. That's what people really worry and fear. So what would your answer be to this?
This is really a good question because, like you mentioned, this is one of the things that I'm hearing constantly. And now, also in these days when all information can be found online and uh, people's best friend is ChatGPT and you can get there everything,
Yeah.
information can be a lot. And most of the time as well, it's not really accurate because it's generic, so people might misunderstood things, or they might think that my friend is having it, so that will suit me as well. But that's not always the case. And also, if we are talking about the business, then each business runs differently. You have a different business plan, you have different suppliers, staff members, knowledge in the industry, and so on. So, uh, and you have other things to worry about as well. And when it comes to insurance, that's always the last thing that you are thinking about. So also when you are a business owner, then you are doing everything on your own, unless you are having additional support, like maybe 1, 2 employees or someone who works with you. I remember when I was little and my dad has his own company. Uh, he always was on and off the trips, but the time when he spent at home, he always was with the paperwork, completing the forms, submitting them, and he was always focused on work. And probably that was how I started all this boring thing and why I'm in the insurance now, because I really like to take that pressure away of the people. So I'm
Wow. Yeah.
letting you as a business owner to focus on things that you do, and
Yes.
you can leave insurance for me. So I will give you that personalized assessment. I will find out your needs, where your business want to be, or where you as individual want to be, and where is the gap, and I will try to do my best to complete that gap, considering everything else that comes with it. So, for
Oh.
example, also when you go to the shop, you are not getting everything from the shop, like every single product available. You're going for something specific. So the same also with insurance. So
Wow.
that's how I can help people.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing. And I know you've shared this story with me before, and it really touched me because you really are passionate about what you do. And like you said, boring. For many people, insurance is boring. but you always manage to bring the fun into it and the human side of things, because you're deeply related to that and you really love doing that, because through that work you remember helping your dad, and now what you do, you work with small business owners, with family businesses, and you are that person, like you say, you allow people to continue focus on working on your business, but you're that person who kind of almost translates the
Mhm.
information, the legal, the jargon, and you help them get only the shopping list, the things that they need, not everything. Yeah, thank you for that. So that's a fear. It's a valid fear, because people just don't know where to start. It's overwhelming. And I remember when my first business, we had about 20 employees. You spin around doing so much. You wear different hats. And if you have to go and do the marketing, if you have to go and do the finance, if you have to go and understand insurance, like, when I'm going to do all those things, that's where understanding what it means to rely on an expert, but not only an expert who wants to sell you things, but who understands your situation. And it's nice to hear that you actually one of the small business owners, you understand what a small business owner goes through. So thank you for
Especially
sharing.
also for small businesses, if you have employees, then sometimes staff members can be complicated as well and difficult.
Yeah,
And you need to
yeah.
deal with them as well. So this is another thing that adds up stress to your business.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go to second question. Question number two, or fear number two, like you've researched and you've shared that often people say to you, yes, Eva, I understand it's important, business protection insurance, but I feel it's gonna be another cost that I might never use. So to that, what people feel, and again, I understand the feeling is skeptical. People might have, or small business owners might have tight budget. So the question basically, that fear really sparks the question: if I can't afford every kind of insurance, what's the most important thing I should start with, or I should consider?
Yeah, this is really a good question. And I hear this a lot when people are overwhelmed with things. And then if there is additional cost or additional service that they need to buy,
Yeah.
uh, normally this is not happening because they are just too stressed and worried about other things.
Hmm.
And also now in these days with cost of living crisis, people are really careful with their money. And
Hmm.
if you need to get something just in case, then it's never a priority, and you
Yeah.
always have to think so.
Yeah.
Because this is how human brain works.
But it
We
works.
always
Yeah.
are, we always are trying to find the discounts, the cheapest way, or maybe who can do things for us without any money. So yeah, I think also it's important to understand where your business is and where you are, and to identify the gaps. So then after we can set up priorities and to understand from all the list which is top one priority that we need to go for. And
Hmm.
in most of the cases, especially if it comes to business or self-employed people, then it's definitely income, because you are your own worker. You are like your business engine. So if something happens to you, then your income will stop. If your income will stop, you won't be
Yeah.
able to get salary, or you won't be able to pay your staff members and
Hmm.
suppliers. But
Suppliers. Yeah.
the thing that doesn't go away is the bills. And people will still keep sending you invoices, and you will need to pay the bills. So it's really important to set up the priorities. And uh, if we are talking about another expense and I might never use it, uh, that's good, because if you have something in place and you think that you will never use it, that's great, because you have that safety pillow
Hmm.
under you, you have plan B, and if something happens, you don't need to worry about anything, because you know that there is insurance policy that will cover the cost. Also, from business point of view, it's really good because business insurance is coming up with different tax advantages, and also it's a business deductible expense. which
Hmm.
means that if you have the protection, then your business is paying for that. You are
Yeah, yeah,
still covered, but you don't need to pay it out of your own pocket.
yeah. No, I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. Thank you. Um, Next fear or question three. What if something happens and I'm not actually covered? So that's what people maybe they've been missold or bought something that they didn't understand. So the feeling is they feel vulnerable. They feel they're questioning, are they going to actually be protected? How, how do they know the small print, as we say? So the question is, what are the common mistakes business owners make with their cover, and how can we just give an insight, quick insight here with what they should do?
Mhm. Yeah, this is really a valid question, and I'm coming across this really often when people are getting something, but actually it doesn't fit their purpose, and that's how they are ending up asking this question: what is the common mistake? Because they are acting once something happened, not
Mhm.
before. Meaning
Yeah.
they miss that step where they speak with someone or where they are doing the research properly. So the biggest mistake that I would say business owners make is that they are setting up something at the start, at the beginning of the business, but they never look into it again because they think that once the policy is up and running, uh,
Mm, okay.
which is true, but your business grows. You might have
Yeah, and
extra.
changes.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that policy that was originally set up might not fit the purpose anymore.
Hmm.
And again, you have gap there, and if something happens, then you are not covered properly. And then another mistake that many people are making without having proper research is that they are getting policies online. And that is what you said about being missold or not reading terms properly.
Yeah,
Uh, so if you are not doing the research properly, you are not checking claim statistics, or you are not making comparisons, and you are not checking options, then
hmm,
you might miss something. And
right.
many people are doing this by themselves, actually doing advisor's job themselves, and without having actually right tools or knowledge. And that's how
Yeah,
mistakes. And also, regular reviews are the best thing how to make sure that everything is in the line and you are covered and you have correct amounts and thanks for your policy.
yeah, yeah. No, thank you so much for sharing that. Um, Another question you or fear you've shared that people often have, and again, that resonates as well with me and many people that I know. What happens if I suddenly can't work? Ill health or anything, people get often anxious about illness, emergencies, burnout, something that is unforeseen, something that you didn't expect, you didn't plan. We don't plan for these things. So the question is, as a business owner, if I had to stop working suddenly, would anything actually help cover my income or bills?
Yes, that definitely is something that could cover you, and also people always are worried about the work. Is not in many occasions, people actually having something from their employee, or if they are running their own business, then you don't have any guarantees at all. Um, so if you are self-employed, then you are the main person of the business, and if something goes wrong, then that's it. Your business stops, and you are not generating any income. And that's where income protection can come in. The same also for individuals. That's the best way how they can supplement their workplace sick pay, for example, because there you can get a certain amount of money every month, and you will get paid until you will be able to go back to work, and you will be recovered and fit enough to work again. Also, here I would like to share a story of my client that recently had an accident. And when she called me, informing me about this because she wanted to make a claim, actually she wasn't worried at all, and she was laughing on the phone. And at the beginning I thought that something is wrong with her, like maybe that's a joke or something. But basically, what happened to her was that she was doing housework, and she was going down the stairs, and she missed a couple of steps, and she fell, and she broke her leg and
Oh,
cracked her arm. So it was quite painful.
oh,
Um, but she wasn't worried because she had accident protection and income protection, so two
wow.
policies. And that didn't stop her from getting money and paying her bills, even though she was self-employed and she didn't have any workplace guarantees. And also that there wasn't that stress that her kids couldn't go to school because she had enough money to hire someone who can do the childcare
Wow.
and also have an additional support to support her at the home and everyday job. So yeah, that's why also she was happy about that. And the good thing was that the whole policy monthly payment uh, cost her less than takeaway for the whole family. So that's another benefit
Wow.
that people normally are not thinking about. They think that if I will have insurance, that will be expensive, but they don't realize that actually we are spending money on things that help us only at the minute or makes us happy only for that
Yeah,
moment, not
yeah,
for the rest of our lives.
yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I hope she's fully recovered now and
She,
she's
she's still, she's still, she's happy laying on her sofa reading books and watching TV.
blessed. But that's a real life example of the difference what could be. Because we all know being entrepreneur, running your own business, there is hardly any safety nets. It's not like being employed where you've got a lot of guarantees and protection, and someone takes care of you. You've got sick pay and all these things. You've got much better protection. But the journey of entrepreneur is a lot of you're stepping into the unknown. It's taking risks and doing all those things that are out of the comfort zone. But something like this, a simple action like this, taking the right next step and taking the right insurance can really elevate the stress, the unnecessary stress and unnecessary pain to, when you already set up a business, you've got to maybe clients are relying on you, you've got to cover some overheads and bills. What happens in moments where, something like this happen? And if you have the protection, you can breathe, better, you can rest, you can recover, and you trust that things are taken care of you. That's a real life example. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think, well, one more question. Our last question is fear five, and it does come kind of in between, bridges in between the personal and business protection. Where does the personal ends and the business begins? Because that could be a bit confusing for someone not knowing, do I need both? Can I just get one? What would that cover me for? Because there's just it feels like blurred lines, and it causes confusion. So the question is, what's the difference between personal and business cover? And what should I look out for if I'm blending the two?
This is really a good question because especially now in these days, many people are working from home and they're running business from home, and they are the main family providers as well. So having the right protection, and especially if it comes to understanding what is personal protection and business protection, it's not
Mm,
always clear. But the simplest way how to understand that would be that personal cover, it's only for us, for you, for your family, and people will get paid once something happens to you, like person. Whereas business cover is mainly for functioning of your business and business itself. So that, for example, if you are the main person of the business, then you need one cover. Or if there is more than one shareholder or director of the business, then as well, just to make sure that after after your death, the business will go into right hands, then there is a protection that can help other shareholders just to buy you out and to keep your business up and running. Because the
Mm,
biggest risk is that the business can go to your family, your wife and husband, or next of kin, but actually they have no clue how to run the business, what that is. They
mm,
don't have knowledge, they don't have skills. And
yeah,
that's where whole business can go down, affecting also other shareholders or other directors.
yeah.
So if you have personal protection, it doesn't mean that that will definitely suit your business. Let's say,
Hmm.
for example, if you have a life insurance and you die, then it will help your family. It will help your family to get extra money to pay off mortgage or other debts. But whereas if you have, for example, business debts and business loan protection, uh,
Hmm.
that loan protection will pay off your share of your business debts
Oh,
without your family need to be involved.
wow.
So
Okay. Yeah.
the main thing is just to understand where you are and
Hmm.
how much you are involved in your business financially,
Yes.
just to get
Yes.
your protection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I understand. There's no one size fits all, right?
No.
It's personalized, and that's why I like so much how you explain things for someone who is obviously, we all expert in different fields, but I like how you approach things. You're always, leading with just the common sense. You're leading with meeting people where they are, getting them to understand not just what's the current situation, but understanding like sometimes people don't even speak about those fears, right? People don't
No.
necessarily share in more depth the root cause of their
Mhm.
fears or why maybe they're procrastinating, not taking action or not protecting. So you take time to connect with people. You care for their well-being, for their business success. You take time to meet them where they are, either in person to make it more convenient for them or online. So as we come into the end of this interview, I want to thank you so much for what you've shared. Obviously, we just had about 30 minutes here to kind of touch on all those fears and what people worry about in when it comes to business protection and all that. So thank you for sharing some insights. But what's the next step? What could someone do as a next step? Let's say maybe they taken insurance some time ago. They don't know if it's outdated or if there's got any gaps in it, or maybe they just in the first year of business or early stages and they haven't prioritized insurance. They don't know what they need, or what would you advise them?
Uh, from this point of view, I have created a great tool where everyone, no matter if you have business or you are curious about your position in your personal protection plan, I have created a quiz where you can answer just a couple of the questions, and uh, uh, and then you can get answers like where you are, where the gaps are, and actually to understand if you need a consultation or you need to take some extra steps, because with protection it's not always the case that you definitely need to have something.
Right.
Maybe you have already something in place, or maybe you just have some extra funds, emergency funds, and you
Hmm.
have lots of money aside and you just don't need it. That's absolutely fine. But by those by those two quizzes, you can really understand where you are and
Yeah.
if you need a consultation. And then also you can just book one-to-one with me, which is absolutely free. Just a quick conversation, quick chat where we can just go through where you are, what you know about insurance, if you know anything, and just to go from there. And then we can look deeper where your business are and where you are planning to be in next year, next 5 or 10 years.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much. I mean, those two resources you mentioned, they sound really at a great place to start because often people
Mhm.
try to offer you something or suggest something without taking the time to understand. But those resources sounds like a tool, an empowering tool that anyone can do just to test and see where they are. And thank you so much for making yourself
Thank you.
kindly offering making yourself available for a free one-to-one consultation. What would the best way people to connect with you? With the quizzes, how do they people get to do those? I think you said you're gonna share the links after this. Yeah.
Yes, I will share the link, but also you can connect with me on the LinkedIn, and they are there as well. Also, you can book a consultation with me there. So everything is online. Just reach out to me and we can go from there.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. It just gives me the confidence that I can reach out to someone who knows things in depth and who would take time to listen, would take time to assess where I'm, help me make an informed decision at the end of the day that suits me, my personal situation, rather than, trying to prescribe something that probably is not the right fit for right now. So thank you for bringing some more clarity and removing the jargon from this
Thank you
complex.
very much for having me. This was a nice conversation, and hopefully it was useful for other people as well.
Hopefully, yes, yes, lovely. Thank you so much for joining everyone who's watched us and who's going to watch later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.